Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks for those of you who have subscribed to my channel and have got to see some of my videos. I am back and now I've got a microphone that works, and I've also got my first associate who's going to be helping me do these videos. Let me introduce you to him really quickly. It is my son Matthew. He's just going to appear here in the screen. Today I want to share with you 7 reasons why I am back in college to get my master's degree in theology. College degrees are not what they used to be. For the most part, many people who are in college today probably should not be. There are fields where a university degree is absolutely necessary. You take the medical field, for example. Nobody wants to go to a doctor who's self-taught. You want a doctor who has got a great degree. But for the most part, most skills are learned at a technical school level and on the job. And so some of the most highest paying jobs today require no college degree. And it's ridiculous how many people got degrees, are in huge debt, and have no jobs. So the question is then, why am I back into Bible college? What is it about Bible college that I'm getting my master's? And for those of you who know, I am going to Biola and getting my master's degree in Apologetics. And so some of you have asked, well, what caused me to make that decision to go back to college? Well, really quickly, here's what 3 things a college degree and a theology degree will not do for you. Number 1, a theology degree is not an automatic pay raise. Number 2, a theology degree is not an automatic job. Just because you went to Bible college does not mean you're now going to be a professor at a Christian university or a pastor or some other vocational job in ministry. And a college degree or theology degree does not mean an automatic invitation to preach and teach and travel full time. The opportunities to speak and teach really come from the Lord and His open doors, but also through the relationships that you've developed and through the faithful years of small ministry that you've been a part of. And being faithful in season and out of season opens up doors for other opportunities. Well, today I want to share with you 7 reasons why I am back in college to get my master's degree in theology. Number 1. I went back to college to study theology, theology is the study of God. You see, I love God, and I want to grow in my knowledge of Him. And so as I study theology, I'm learning more of God. I'm learning His Word, and that helps me because that's my vocational ministry. I've given the rest of my life to serve people and to teach about God. And so I do want to study about God if I'm teaching about Him to others. The second reason I'm back to college is college forces me to read and write. Anytime I take a class in the beginning of this semester, they give me a list of books to read and a bunch of papers that I need to write. And that habit of reading and writing is such an important habit to learn. When I got my bachelor's degree at Oral Roberts University, I had great professors and I loved my lectures, but it wasn't so much the lectures that shaped me, it was the books that I read and the papers that I wrote. And the lifelong habit of reading and writing really changed and shaped my life. And so I'm back in college paying, again, $50,000 to force somebody to read and write, and that's a good thing because that'll change me. The third reason I went back to college is theology degree will systematize your theology. It's one thing to learn about several topics, and it's one thing to just sort of study on your own and go where your desires lead you, right? But a master's degree forces you to go through many topics and bring awareness and sharpen skills in our area, in all areas. And one of the things that it does is it kind of bring a systematic view of God and the worldview and theology from Genesis to Revelations. And all of that really then gives you a big picture of things and helps you understand certain elements of theology when you look at it from a bigger perspective. So a theology degree will systemize your theology. The fourth reason why I went to Bible college is because it exposes me to new areas where regular preaching and teaching and just my own interest don't, right? It's just like skipping leg day. You can skip leg day because you don't like it, but then after a while, you will look weird. Well, when it comes to theology, oftentimes we just go for the things that we like and we skip certain areas or never go to areas that we don't think are important for us. Well, one example is studying history. You can look at Middle Ages, early church history. One of the things that you realize is the early church and the church 1,000 years ago dealt with many times the similar types of heresies that we face today. You see, history repeats itself. And so by studying theology and history and every aspect of it, it gives you just sort of an opportunity to develop every muscle that you need developed. The fifth reason I'm in Bible college is sometimes I'll have conversations with non-believers and seekers, and they'll oftentimes ask me, do you have a degree? And by me saying, yes, I've got my bachelor's and I'm almost done with my master, it keeps the door open for further conversations. And sometimes I just need that ability to have another conversation with somebody just to plant more seeds. And so by me having a master's degree, if that opens the door for another conversation, I might as well, I'd like to have it. You see, we live in the Northwest, and 8 out of 10 newcomers to our region already have a degree. And on a national average, 35% of people 25 and above have a bachelor's degree. In our region, in Seattle, 63%. That's right, 63% of the people who live in our area have at least a bachelor's degree. That's the #1 city in the United States. So we live around people who've studied different areas and who are very intelligent. And when you study and when I study, it changes my vocabulary, it changes how I view things. And so it allows me just to have some great and honest conversations with others that have a degree in our region. And for me, that's a value. And that's why I'm getting the degree. The sixth reason why I'm getting the degree is because getting a degree forces you to learn to manage your time and your energies, which then blesses you in other areas. Right? When you start a semester, you know this is how many books you got to read and this is how many papers you got to write, and you have to strategize and plan how and when you're going to accomplish those tasks. Well, as you do that, you're managing your time and your energies. And that's a skill that's very important to learn for the rest of your life. That's why people who completed degrees really speaks a lot about who they are as their nature, that they're able to start something and complete something. They're able to strategize. They're able to manage things. That's why when there's two candidates for the same role and maybe they're both just as qualified, but if one has a degree, the person with the degree will be chosen over the person without a degree. There's something about a person who started something and completed, especially a degree, says something about their nature and their character that's really vital. And the seventh reason why I'm getting my master's degree in theology is because I'm in a good season right now when I can. My wife is one of the people that highly encouraged me to do so. Pastor Ben here at Timberlake Church also encouraged me to do it. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, I'm paying $10,000 or $20,000 a year. But I'm in a season when I'm able to do it with my time, with my schedule. My kids are a little bit older. My evenings are mostly free. So I'm in a better season when I can pursue a master's degree. So here's the question I wanted to answer for many of you that ask me, is it worth to go to Bible college? And I would say, first of all, if you don't see yourself vocationally full-time in ministry, I'm not sure that it's worth paying that much money for it. There's a lot of online classes and courses that you can take. I don't think you need to pay $50,000, $60,000 to get a bachelor's or master's degree. What I would encourage you to do is maybe take a year for the Lord. Maybe be a part of an internship. Do a short-term mission trip. Be involved heavily in the local church and expose yourself to different classes and small groups and books and authors that you study. And I think that's going to be more than sufficient for you in your level. But if you do see yourself giving the rest of your life to vocational ministry, to ministry in the local church setting, ministry of teaching others, I do think that a Bible degree is vital for you. And so it is something that I've seen beneficial in my life for those reasons, for those 7 reasons, and I think it can be beneficial for you. Thank you for joining me today. I do have a couple interviews coming up with very interesting people that I believe you will be blessed. So I hope you subscribe to my channel. and I look forward to seeing you next time.